So I can do it.
Thank you.
So let's relax on our chair and set our minds to calm down and thinking about all the blessings that we received during this week, from last Tuesday to today. Our health, our peace, our bread. We thank you, God, for all these blessings. And also for the blessing of being here together and being assisted by the friends from Pedro Emanuel spiritual group. We thank their assistance and we ask for inspiration and support to all the thoughts and all what Colleen has put for us tonight. We thank you for all and be it.
So thank you. Amen. I'm just gonna grab my water. I forgot. Oh.
Thank you, Angela. That was, it was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. And how is Colleen? She recovered from the...
Thank you. Yes, I am feeling much better. Still a bit needy at nighttime for extra oxygen. So we are still doing that, but I am feeling much better. Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Thank you.
All right, girls, the floor is yours.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Di. What did you speak about last week?
We spoke about, where's the book? 1 second. That was before, except by the fruits, like we recognize someone by the fruits that they give, like by the tree, we recognize the tree by the fruits that produce. So the same way we will be recognized by the fruits that we produce. And when we say that, it's not about the way we wear clothes, our position in society, but about what we give back, like how we do good around us. Those are the fruits that we give back to society. So basically, summary, talking about it.
So brilliant. It is my topic, Di. You stole my topic, but it is great because we can now elaborate on that. Yes.
That was a topic from last week. We are following the book.
Yes, I get it. Okay. It will be as it is, and I ask you for your patience. Yes.
Yeah, in theory, you should follow the book and be the Alex subject.
Yes, but yes, I am always beginning the topic several weeks in advance.
That's
yes. So please, for all those that are tuning in online, it will be different to last week because Di and myself look at life and express life in very different ways. So beautiful is Di's positivity. I am a bit more rough and tumble, and yes, but I am bringing a bit of a different light to the topic. So yes, for all those in spirit, you will find peace and rest here amongst those that care and are uplifting you in your journey. And we thank all those that are, yes, forever supporting us in our efforts each day to find unity and oneness in all that is. I thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So let us read once again the topic. Yes, by their fruit you shall know them. Emmanuel writes, not by its size, not by its shape, not by its branches, not by the magnificence of its crown, not by its green shoots, not by its dry foliage, not by its radiant look, not by its unpleasant appearance, not by its ancient trunk. Not by its fragile leaves, not by its rough or smooth bark, not by its fragrant or odorless flowers, not by its attractive aroma, and not by its repulsive smell. No tree is known or admired for its outward appearance, but for its fruit, its usefulness, and its productivity. So can I break here and say that Emmanuel is not an aesthetic or a Buddhist? He doesn't marvel at the beauty of the tree and looks for teaching's sake. He looks at its productivity, but we will go along with it. Yes, yes. An aesthetic would say, look at the beautiful trunk, the ancient weathering and beauty and its stalwartness, what it has endured, what it has given, to support its own life and also for the life around it. Yes, there is much that can be said that is not for its productivity. But yes, yes, let us continue. Yes.
And I agree with you. I think just because that is specific lesson is not about that, is about the internal. Because, like, of course, we can admire the beauty, but I think, like, on that sense, like, I'm just trying to create skills for Emmanuel here.
Yes, thank you. Me too. It is for the lesson itself. Yes, yes. The same is true of our spirit on its journey. Nobody who's truly committed to the truth will testify on our behalf by what it seems to be, by the superficiality of our life, by the epidermis of our attitudes or individual expressions perceived en passant, but by the essence of our collaboration. One moment. Just ticking this, just a sec. So en passant means fleeting or off the cuff. So by the epidermis, the skin deep attitudes or individual expressions perceived fleetingly or off the cuff. Yes, based on ego, yes, ego-centeredness. But by the essence of our collaboration on the shared road of progress, by the weight of our concourse in the overall good. And by concourse, it means an act or process of coming together and merging. So then it reads, by the essence of our collaboration together on the shared road of progress, by the weight of our coming together and merging in the overall good. And finally, Emmanuel says, by their fruit you shall know them, said the Master. By our deeds we shall be known, we respond. So this is a beautiful, beautifully written final paragraph. By our deeds we shall be known. Yes, so he brings it back to ourselves. But what is the context for this particular passage? By their fruit you shall know them. Jesus was, as we know, from this text is taken from Matthew 7, and it is at the beginning of the Beatitudes, right at the beginning. the Beatitudes, and the Sermon on the Mount. And the Sermon on the Mount is not just about the Beatitudes, but also goes on for 2.5 chapters on teachings by Jesus for the common people. The text itself is important to see what Emmanuel is talking about, because out of context, it seems that he is talking, yes, you will know them by their fruits. So we don't understand who Jesus is talking about. You will know them by their fruits. So the passage reads, beware of false prophets. Jesus is talking to the people who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. So Jesus is talking about prophets and teachers. He's actually not talking about, yes, others or yourselves, but that comes later. Yes. Do men gather grapes from thorn bushes? So we don't gather grapes from a random thorn bush. We gather grapes from a grapevine. We don't gather figs from thistles. Even so, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Therefore, by their fruits, you will know them. By their fruits, you will know them. So this translation is from the New King James Version. And again, it doesn't make much sense because of it is almost anthropomorphizing, saying that a tree is good or fruit is bad. Yes. So we have a tree that is bearing good fruit and bad fruit. So even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. So is Jesus talking about good versus evil? This is important to understand, again, that those people that gathered at the Mount to hear Jesus speak were basically people in poverty, people who had been displaced, people who had nothing because they were in a land that is now occupied by the Romans. They had no rights. They were squashed. Their traditions were, yes, belittled. They were allowed to practice, but they were under scrutiny always and under no apprehension that they were lowly, that they were nothing in comparison to their masters who were the invading forces. So Jesus is not talking here about good and evil. It does no one good. When these people are downtrodden, they do not need to hear about what is good and what is evil. They already know in their own lives what is good and what is evil. This is a people, a land, masses of people who are needing consolation, who need to be reassured that they are okay. So Jesus speaks in terms of farming. He speaks in terms of nature. And in the Aramaic, let us look. In the Aramaic and in all the Semitic languages, the word for good, versus evil, the word for good primarily means ripe. And the word for evil, in this sense, means unripe. So when heard with Aramaic ears, the language of the day, those words might sound more like a ripe tree brings forth ripe fruit. An unripe tree brings forth unripe fruit. So why is this significant? The saying is an example from nature. Rather than imposing an external standard of goodness, the lesson has to do with time and place, setting and circumstances, health and disease. So, ripe fruit will come forth from a ripe tree when it is ready, when the circumstances are right, when it is mature enough, when it is in a healthy state, when it has been nurtured, when it is ready. So this change makes a world of difference when we read this text from the King James Version and change the word from good to ripe. Because the tree nor the fruit is not morally evil. It doesn't make sense. But translated from Jesus' native tongue, the Aramaic, the bad or corrupt or evil is just unripe. Therefore, the right time and place are not yet ripe for it to, the right time and place are not yet ripe for it to bear. So if it is unripe, it just means you are not there yet. Do not despair. Do not despair. For it is coming. And if you are aware of how you are to nurture your life, to nurture your spiritual connection to love and to life itself, to God, then the time will reveal itself. So this is not about judgment, about your worth. And yes, it is important that you are conscious about what fruit you bring forth from your heart, from your learning, and from your connection to others. But if you are unable to, do not despair, for the time will come when love will nurture you to then bring forth fruit that is beautiful and that will nourish others as well as yourself. Do you see how this changes the message? It is important for us to see that Jesus is not condemning the teachers. He is not condemning the prophets that speak ill, but to be aware that they are not yet mature, that they are not evil, not driven necessarily by, yes, they will be driven possibly by ego and possibly by the idea of nurturing their own power and position in society. But this means that they are not yet ripe. All of us are on a trajectory of love. All of us are working towards this maturity so that the fruit that we bear will represent our unity in love and oneness in God. Yes, yes, yes. So we can say, if it is not ripe, then it's not mature, yes, And if we are doing great things and bringing forth great fruit, yes, Jesus, this is a no-brainer. Yes. But Jesus suggests for us to look around and to look at nature and live the way that nature is. Live as a ripe tree. Don't live as an unripe tree. So be aware of what it is that your life is teaching you. Not what others are teaching you about your life, but what you feel inside, what you know is lacking. And nurture your root system. Nurture that which comes from within. Yes. And don't live as an unripe tree. Be in the moment. Be conscious, be aware, be awake. And know that when you do act, see how your act reflects your belief and your understanding of your belief system. So be in the moment, in the right time, at the right place, with the right action. And this can only happen when we embrace our oneness with God. But not to be discouraged, as Jesus reiterated over and over and over again in Matthew 7, in the Sermon on the Mount, do not be discouraged, because you will mature just as we all mature. Yes. This then becomes the blessing. Remember that the English translation for the Aramaic word for blessing also means ripe and ripeness. So blessed are they, ripe are they, in oneness are they, in maturity are they, in humility and love are they. Yes, so this is reinstating or re-saying what I said before about who Jesus was teaching or talking to. He's starting a process with them and with us that proceeds through the Beatitudes, from starting with finding your home in the breath, Ruha. Ruha is the blessing in our connection. The breath, it is metaphoric, yes, but we survive with the breath of life. And we survive with the breath of our spirit in oneness with God. We all, whether we accept it or not, are one with God. And so from Ruha, we move from there to acknowledging the places that are mourning or grieving or are confused in ourselves. So Jesus looks at the Beatitudes. He looks at, blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those that mourn. Blessed are those that grieve. Blessed are those that have nothing materially. Blessed are those who are persecuted. He then goes on and on through the different Beatitudes. And this is important because the Beatitudes, if you break it down, is the be attitudes. How to be. How to breathe, but how to be despite your circumstances. And this was so important for the people of the day. So important for people around the world who are suffering in our own homes, in our own minds, in our own communities. So Jesus has something to teach which will actually bring fulfillment and inner happiness, regardless of our outer circumstances. and might in fact improve our outer circumstances if we sit in gentle unison. And so the fruits will pour forth from here. They will naturally grow because we trust. We trust in nature, but we also trust in the need to nurture. And this is when the fruits will pour forth, will come forth, because we tend to our soil. We tend to what we eat and we drink. We tend to what we say. We tend to what we watch. We tend to who we associate with, but how we associate with them. We tend to our spiritual connection to oneness and to all that is, and to nurture that sense and to trust in our divine being, our oneness with God. Yes. Can I stop for a moment and ask if there are any contributions or comments? Yes.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Angela, are you good?
All clear. Thank you.
Thank you. So let us look at this again. By their fruit you shall know them. In the last line of what Emmanuel writes, he says, by our efforts, yes, what is it? Can we go back just a second? Let's go back. No, let's not do that. Just a sec, I can't find it. Sorry, Colin. Emmanuel says, yes, to what was before. Just a second, here we go. Here we go. By their fruit you shall know them. And we respond with, yes, by our good deeds we shall be known. So Emmanuel makes the connection here from looking at others. By their fruit you shall know them. Emmanuel responds and suggests to us, by our good deeds we shall be known. So this is important because he is taking us back, not looking at others, but looking at ourselves. So here I wanted to consult with A Course in Miracles, because A Course in Miracles is a brilliantly, beautifully written text. And may I say, I am humbled by it because it was channeled. But the one who channels it is yes. Do you all know A Course in Miracles? First of all, yes. It is a text that came through an American professor who was a professor in language, I think. But she was not in philosophy, but she actually channeled this very extensive work. And it is a course, a 365-day course, written and, yes, conveyed by Jesus. The words are beautiful and healing, and they are universal. The messages are hard. They ask us to look at life in a very, very stripped down version and to move through gospel as well as texts that are new. that allow us to yes, connect with our divine source. Yes, so beautiful and so widely used even today. So it was channeled in the 1960s. It took about 6 years to channel. So it is involved. It also comes with a student workbook, a handbook for teachers as well. So it is a beautiful book to get your hands on. And if you can, possibly start from day one. It is easy to begin. Yes, yes. The texts, there are lessons to read each day, one lesson, short. Then you are to complete homework. And it is some kind of meditation or thought process that you are asked to dwell upon. Yes, yes. So anyone out there who has heard of it and thinking about it, yes, please avail yourself. It is free online PDF, and there are many who speak about it on YouTube. It is quite amazing. Yes. But A Course in Miracles speaks about we all being teachers. And this comes back to the previous statement. By their fruit you shall know them. Jesus was speaking about teachers and prophets. And this is why I turned to the Course in Miracles, because it recognizes that we are all teachers. And for us, and we know it now that all of us are starting, me, I feel old because I have been in the health system for many, many years. But as you are all in your later years, can I say, Di? Yes, that is for you. Yes, yes. But we are getting to an age where we understand that we don't, and it is not in our best interest to hand over our health to a health professional. We actually have to guide the health professional to assist us with our healing. But in the end, it is up to us to listen to our bodies and to guide them as to how they can support us. But ultimately, we do not sign over our life to a health professional because they cannot heal us. It really is up to us to make the necessary changes in our lifestyle, in our food choices, in how we decide to be active or inactive, however it is. But the same rings true for our spiritual health and for anything else, for that matter, for our education. To allow someone else to take charge and blame them for our spiritual growth is rather naive and silly. So to sit in judgment and say, by their fruit you shall know them, yes, be discerning. But as A Course in Miracles reminds us, we are all teachers. The problem with this is that we compare our intellect with experience. And this is something that Jesus talks about in A Course in Miracles. I would like to use a few paragraphs from A Course in Miracles, and if there is any discussion or need for comment, I would love you to interrupt, please. Yes. So the Course says, we have already learned that everyone teaches and teaches all the time. We teach because of how we live. We teach because of how we speak, how we act, how we think. Even if outwardly we do not demonstrate, we keep it to ourselves, but we are still teaching others and also ourselves. You may have taught well, and yet you may not have learned how to accept the comfort of your teaching. So we are always here, aren't we? During, yes, each session, we remind each other that we are loved, that we are nurtured, and that we are well taken care of by God, and that the divine is in all things. And yet, yes, we have not learned how to accept the comfort of this teaching, and we struggle. So the course goes on, you may have taught about freedom, but you have not learned how to be free. So Jesus said, I said earlier, by their fruits you shall know them, and you shall know themselves, and they shall know themselves. For it is certain that you judge yourself according to your teaching. Does not the fact that you have not learned what you have taught show you that you do not perceive the sonship as one? And does it not also show you that you do not regard yourself as one? So in A Course in Miracles, he speaks about the sonship, and this is oneness in Jesus, oneness in life itself, in the unity of the divine. So we teach what we most need to learn. And we know that we are not understanding or embracing it or experiencing it because we still sit in blame. We still sit in anguish. We still sit in, what else is there? Yes, so many misgivings that we have. We don't think we are enough. We don't think others are enough. We tend to err on the side of fear rather than love. We protect rather than open our hearts up. We don't invite because we are afraid rather than invite possibility or opportunity to open up. Yes. And it does not also, it shows also that we do not regard ourselves as one. Something's happening here. There we go. So Jesus says, this is a course in how to know yourself. You have taught what you are, but have not let what you are teach you. This is deep. You have taught what you are. You teach others what you are. But you have not let yourself, your deeper self, your inner self, your oneness with divine light, that oneness that is all-knowing, not opening our hearts or our ears to hear from that. Yet within you is everything you taught. It is in us. You are not two selves in conflict. What is beyond God? If you who hold him and whom he holds are the universe, all else must be outside, but outside there is nothing else. So you are not two selves in conflict. This is important. We are not two selves. We are not the ego and the divine self. We are not the separated and the one with God. We are either with God or we are with God. There is no alternative. Yes. There is nothing outside of God. But we are afraid to embrace and to nurture the truth, to trust and to experience the love, the fruit that will come from this embrace, from this crossing over, will reveal itself in plentiful harvest. This is a bit challenging, but as you learn your gratitude to yourself, because it is you who is teaching you, you decide when you open up. You decide what you need to embrace. If something triggers you, say from tonight, the trigger is only something that has been triggered in you, something that may be said. It is like a memory. You know, when someone says, do you remember when this happened and this happened? And you go, I can't remember that. Yes, this happened and this happened. Oh, now I remember. I recall that. And all at once it comes flooding back and it completes you. The memory fills you with joy, with completion. And it is the same. As you learn to embrace you as the teacher, then you embrace and you with gratitude to yourself, the larger self, who teaches you what he, God, the creator, is. And you will grow and help you, and he will help you to honor him. And you will learn his power and strength and purity and love him as his Father does. His kingdom, Jesus' kingdom, God's kingdom has no limits and no end, and there is nothing in him that is not perfect and eternal. And Jesus says here, all this is you, and nothing outside of this is you. This is brilliant. And when we step outside of this idea that it is within us, when the doubts are there, we cringe, don't we? We cringe when we say, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not there yet. Or you say something bad about someone else. Or you don't uplift someone who needs your comfort, but you sit in spite. We cringe because we are teaching ourselves. We know that all we need to do is to embrace. And then the fruits and the harvest will reveal themselves. Sooner or later, everyone must, not must everyone must bridge the gap that imagines or exists between himself. Each one builds this bridge, which carries him across the gap as soon as he is willing to extend some little effort on behalf of bridging it. And so the one who would cross over is literally transported there. So Jesus is talking about bridging the gap from this non-existent illusionary self that is separate to the one that is unified in love. Bridging the gap. And as soon as we do, we are immediately transported there. It is not something that takes time. It is a transformation that is present right now, available to us. Yes. Your bridge is built stronger than you think, and your foot is planted already firmly on it. Have no fear that the attraction of those who stand on the other side and wait for you, they will not draw you safely across. They will not draw you across, for you will come where you would be and where yourself awaits you. So you will reach that moment where your tree has been nurtured in trust and love, and you will recognize, yes, your divinity that is within and without. And yourself, your big self, your larger self, your self that is in oneness with all things, awaits for you to tread the path. But as he said, yes, it literally transports you there. Emmanuel says at the end of his message today, nobody who's truly committed to the truth will testify on our behalf, but by the essence of our collaboration on the shared road of progress. So our truth will be told by others. It will be seen by others. The fruits will be shown because of our collaboration on the shared road of progress and by the weight of our concourse in the overall good. So Di, when you return, yes, I will stop here because this is for you. Hey, Alex, how are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
We are doing well. Yes, thank you. I sense I will finish early tonight.
Yeah.
It is good.
It's sort of what we were planning. Finish around 7:30.
I see.
It's fine. Yeah, just busy at work.
Great. And yes. Is it as you expected it would be? Yes.
No, it's a bit different, but yeah. But it's more, let's say, I have to study and do more than I thought I would have to. But yeah, it's good. Keeps me moving.
Yes. And with money in your pocket to go camping. Yes.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Yes. So Di, this last statement is for you. Emmanuel finishes the lesson with the words that it is by the essence of our collaboration on the shared road of progress, by the weight of our concourse, our oneness with others in the overall good. So what do you think we can ascertain from this? It is not the journey. It is not the climb. It is not the destination.
It's about the
Yes, what he is saying is about those that we are committed to in this life, that we share, that we work together, we collaborate, yes, but if not for others, then what is the purpose in this life? So in a beautiful book, yes, I given recently, the dragon on top of the panda says, which is more important? Oh, the panda asks, which is more important, the journey or the destination? Yes. And the tiny dragon says, no, it is the company. It is the company we keep. Yes, yes.
And
So-
I think
Sorry, you go.
now, I think with other thing that we discussed last week, when we were discussing, is brought our attention as well for the nature, like when we are discussing like the good and the bad, not in the sense of who is good, who is evil, that kind of stuff,
Yes,
but on a sense that like sometimes if like a tree is not producing, is not growing, sometimes we need to prune, we need to change, we need to fertilize. So I also like to look on that way as well. Like, for example, the journey we go, maybe taking your perspective instead of is not right yet, it needs that care, needs that, maybe take the bad branches that is not growing, so makes you stronger. So it's a part of the detachment of things we don't need anymore.
yes,
Make them fertilize. What is the fertilizer that we can look into ourselves? Like, words of encouragement, study, surround ourselves of people that fortify us, need some water. And so when I was approaching that, I was approached from the perspective of the nature, what we do with a tree that don't produce good fruits, like it doesn't, are useful for us. We take care of it. We do what we need it. And then therefore it's going to produce what we expected, but it's only going to produce what is expected if we care about it, if we offer enough things. So I think in that sense, like it aligns well with that. So through our journey, we need to nurture people that surround us and help them to grow their own trees, and therefore they will help us grow our own tree.
yes, 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 yes. Definitely. It only works together.
Yeah.
Yes. The messages today were kind of mixed. I was so impressed with the possibilities of discussing fruit and being fruitful. But there are, yes, definitely there is a sense that when the time is right, when the circumstances are right, we are so quick to beat ourselves up and say, oh, we can't meditate, or we can't pray, or we can't do this, or we can't do that. And we become despondent. But this is why we are constantly reassured. And Jesus tells us this from the Sermon on the Mount. There will come a time, your maturity will come. We can't all be at one place at the one time. And this is why we are together in this lifetime, in this complex network, but so rich, a tapestry that we are a part of. It is a glorious journey if we trust that all is well, and that not every harvest is going to bring forth fruit, that there are seasons for all of this to occur. But for us to just be aware, to be, yes, conscious that we are effective teachers, not just for ourselves, no, not just for others, but also for ourselves. Yes. And to ask ourselves, what are we trying to say here? What is it that's not sitting right with me? What is it that I need to change here? And to not just swallow our pride, but to place it to one side. Yes, yes. And to honor also at the same time others' journeys, and not to sit in that place of judgment and say, well, they certainly aren't good. They may be evil even, but look how much they have taught you. Look how much they have helped you to stand on your own 2 feet, because you make that decision to find somewhere else to go. Yes, 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 yes. I sense that is it for tonight. Yes, yes. I am early. Yes. Yes. Yes, I apologize that that we went over a lot of stuff from your presentation last week, Di.
It's so good. It's, as you said, it's always learning, you know, like your approach is different. And like if we talk about this subject again next week, we're gonna find different perspective and comparison. And there is no harm in learn and discuss the same subject. Like we always take like different intakes about it. So no worries about it.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yes, Angela, how are you? And would you like to share something that has inspired you this week? Yes.
About this